Yeah, perhaps another question. You are working in a very large organization, and I only know the organization from because of the television, the television, and I don't think the television branch is perhaps representative for the radio channels.
No, no, it's not. No. Yeah.
Because do you think like a large organization like this is helping you to be creative, or because it gives you opportunities, or perhaps it does it like
narrows
like
the creativity. It's, as a lot of things are in life, it's a mixture of both. You have a part is what you have to do every month in a sort of same way, and the other part is being creative about it, and I think that's pretty much it, yeah, it's both. It's got both sides, like when you look at the TV channel, also our TV channel, you have programs there which are rather populistic, or what
well, I would say traditional. I only see it like during Christmas, so I don't know if it's like representative, but you cherish, a lot of culture is being cherished, I think, by this organization. And I can imagine that if you are like saying that the jazz develops in the last 20, 30 years in this region, perhaps, and then was it hard for you to well, ask attention for this kind of music, whereas perhaps in this region especially they also like to have images of people in the mountains, and they like perhaps the classical music very much, and but was it like hard to reach and do what you perhaps really wanted to do?
No, it's not that hard actually. I mean, it's part, jazz is being considered a part of the musical culture here. I mean, not the original, not the traditional thing, of course, but it became part of it. It's a sidekick. Jazz is definitely a sidekick. It's not the mainstream. It's not what most of the people out there listen to, and a lot of people also have the idea that jazz, for instance, is a very unnerving kind of music. It's not soothing or stuff like that. Whereas jazz, of course, is a very widespread kind of music. Under this, under the name of jazz, you have everything from original Dixieland to free jazz. Definitely. So, yeah. I mean, that's really no problem to.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, this was just what I wanted, like a large organization, perhaps traditional region in some way. It might restrict your...
I mean, no. For instance, I never had... I mean, within 25 years now, I never had the situation that I was being asked to not broadcast something, or please do not broadcast something like that anymore, or something. That never happened.
Okay.
We got all the artistic freedom, and that includes free forms of jazz, or real, I mean, tough things also. Yeah.
Because for my personal experience, my parents are both musicians, and they, like, especially my mother, sometimes, well, is not very happy about the times, for instance. Like, she's there both in the classical music, but they in Holland we do not really broadcast a lot of classical music. We have a radio channel as well, but then she says, well, it's always like in the middle of the night somewhere, or like perhaps there are other restrictions that you think, well, perhaps I should be able to also, well, try to reach a group that might not listen during another time. Or
your mother is right with that. I mean, it's not so different here. I mean, the jazz programs usually take place at night. It's the same thing, and I mean, we would wish for, of course, a daily, throughout the day show as well, but we only have throughout the day shows twice a week, and that's it. And so we always also have the problem of, there's a lot of music happening which we can't even broadcast because we don't have the time for it.
Yeah, and perhaps the possibilities, like if you have like daytime broadcasting, then you can call people perhaps during shows, or you can perhaps do other more
more communicative.
Or just
stuff,
perhaps some other ways that you cannot use during the night.
Exactly, that's right. I mean, and it's the same, of course, with jazz on TV. I mean, jazz on TV takes place at like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know? But jazz is in good company, you know, because like a lot of real good movies and real good features are broadcasted late at night, you know, whereas the stupid stuff, as I call it now, you know, like you know, game shows or personality shows or all this stuff, you know, is always placed in the prime time. And this also is unfortunately often happening within our broadcasting unions, which are actually with the cultural and educational background, as is Bayerischer Rundfunk, Westdeutscher Rundfunk, Hessischer Rundfunk, and all these, you know, nationwide stations.